There are a lot of issues that I agree with our governor, but taking over Atlantic City is certainly not one of them. He's dead wrong. Are we going to run out of money? Absolutely. That's with the pilot bill being vetoed or not vetoed. That's with the takeover bill passing or not passing. We will run out of money, and it'll be on April 8th. We will absolutely run out of money because the governor has withheld $33.5 million. No one else to blame here. $33.5 million the city was forced to put into its budget, and the money is coming from casinos. Not from state taxpayers, from casinos. And yet the governor has decided that he's not going to allow us to have that money. He's going to withhold it. And in effect, he is absolutely shutting us down. Because the less people that come means the less sales tax, the less hotel tax, the less luxury tax, the less parking tax, all of those fees, the less gaming tax, that ultimately goes back to Trenton. This pilot bill, that takes the money that's coming to the city now, the property tax, replaces it with a pilot, and all of that money goes to Trenton. And then we have to ask for it. So about 50% of all of the income will still be controlled by Trenton after this. So there's no need for this takeover bill. The takeover bill is unethical. You don't have the right to take away the civil rights of my residents to elect their officials and to boot them out of office when they're not happy with them. They don't have a right to do away with collective bargaining for working men and women, and they certainly don't have the right to take away the protection that civil service gives individuals that work for government to make sure that politicians don't punish them after an election. It's very interesting that the governor this morning said that he wants to have a table, and he wants to invite city leaders and state leaders and business people and residents. What I have to tell the governor is we're sitting at that table today. Faith-based leaders, residents, members of city council, myself, members of the assembly, and the only seat that's missing is his. New Brunswick, which people for some reason want to compare us to, they get $130 million, and half for the last 10 years. Atlantic City, our schools got $38 million last year. Before last year, they only got $18 million. In Atlantic City, $10 million for the first time last year through Comtra. We're paying the schools. The city may be forced to shut down and not pay our employees, but that's not going to happen to the school. The schools will stay open during the month of April. For everyone that works for the city, yes, all your health benefits are going to be in place. If you choose not to work during this closeout time, yes, you do qualify for unemployment. If you're essential services, yes, you'll be repaid.
We all know why we're in this position. It's simple. The governor told his local finance board to put $33.5 million in the budget for the city of Atlantic City this year, a bill that's been sitting on his desk collecting dust since 2014. We're not going to trample on the rights of democracy for the sake of a takeover. We have the tourism district. We had 3 summits. We had an appointment of an emergency manager. We had a monitor that's been in City Hall since 2010. I want you to think about that for a minute. With all of that, they bring in an emergency manager last year whose sole purpose was to negotiate down the debt and negotiate with Bugatti. Now he's gone. A year later, we're still in the same position, to the tune of $2.6 million of your taxpaying dollars. If him and Senator Sweeney really want to help Atlantic City, they will mean what they say and come to the table, as we did on 3 occasions, and we got nothing. This is a backdoor, indirect way from the governor to enact the Emergency Management Act in Michigan. Because New Jersey didn't have an emergency manager law and a state statute, that's why, as he said, Kevin Lavin didn't have all the power that he did. But if you look at this bill and you look at the Emergency Management Act in Michigan, you will see the same type of legislation that enabled them to come in and tear up union contracts, fire municipal employees, move departments, sell assets, privatize everything. So this is a disguise 1 year later to implement the Emergency Management Act. He's more concerned about being a celebrity groupie for Donald Trump than serving the citizens of Atlantic City and making sure that this situation could have been avoided. Maybe we can call on Donald Trump to have a conversation with him about Atlantic City and listen to the irony in what I said, but Donald Trump seems to be the only one that the governor listens to these days. He's not going to sign the rescue bill without the takeover bill. So, to me, that's the great heights of Atlantic City. It's extortion of epic proportions, and he had the nerve to say on the radio today that we're trying to blackmail people. I think the blackmail is coming from Route 206.
And if we fail, me as mayor, city council, if we fail, then we understand the state's going to take more direct action. If we go to bankruptcy, it's because this governor drives us into bankruptcy. And it will not be an Atlantic City bankruptcy, it will be a Christie bankruptcy that Atlantic City has to pay for.